Always be shooting. ABS.
Come on then, let's get going.
Go on. Well, you had a question. Someone had a question.
Yeah. So as you build teams, what you're thinking about is working with people and bringing people in who are better than you at what they do, and also understanding they will do it differently to you. What you don't want to do is hire people and try and make them work the way you do. Of course, you need systems to do that. You need structures to how we collaborate together as a team. But individually, you want to hire people who have the right mindset, the right attitude, the right hunger to do great work, and then trust them to do that job. You need to be there for them if they need advice. You need to be there to give them support. You make sure that they feel safe in work, feel inspired, feel like we're all going in the same direction, so we're all carrying the flag in the same way. But yeah, it's about creating space for people to be the best version of them.
It's different for different people as well. So the way you might talk and delegate or bring in an intern or a junior creative or strategist is different to someone like Harry, our head of creative, or Marta, head of production. In that, they approach their roles differently. And I think a big part of this actually is understanding the journey that people take. So a lot of our role and the way we create systems in the studio is allow them the space and time to grow. So whether that's writing our book on journeys, which is the story of the creative journey for everyone in the team, and so they can understand where they are and where they're going, as much as on a day-to-day job is codifying how we do things.
What's your favourite tea? Every project we do at DB is slightly different, much like a tea bag. We've got our mint teas, got our chamomile, got some peppermint, got some licorice, got your standard, English breakfast, personal favourite. And much like that, we have our codified system, DixonBaxi codified system. And whilst each project is slightly different flavours, different tastes, what codified allows us to do is put it in the DixonBaxi system. The inside is different flavours, but on the outside, it's a unified and solid approach. Tastes different, smells different, is different, but what this allows us to do, a solid system.
I'm going to go get something now. I'm testing the system.
Yeah, what are you getting?
I'm going to get what you just talked about.
Ah, there it is.
So in my hand, I hold two things. One is DixonBaxi Essentials. The other is DixonBaxi Journeys. Essentials is really codifying the absolute basics of what we are, the principles and the operating system of DixonBaxi. Again, very, very simple, but it talks about what we care about, who we care about, what traits we like in people, and our basic processes. And what we find is by doing this, it hardwires it into the company. So I don't think every single person in the company's read this front to back, but I like the idea it exists because it gives us an anchor. And the same thing applies to our beautifully coloured ACP. This is an awesome creative process. And, you know, it's a goofy name, but what we wanted to do is figure out how the process works. And on paper, it actually looks very simple, doesn't it? There's an input where we get to know the client. There is insight gathering where we get to know the client, the world around them, the competitive set, the challenge ahead. Then when those insights are translated into a strategy, that strategy is translated into a design system, which is translated into experiences that show up in the world in an exciting, useful, meaningful, delightful way for people. Can we have 2 pints of lager?
Yeah, that'll mix things up. Seeing that we've got this book, I think this one, I don't know if we're coming back to it, but while we're here, I think we should just touch on it as well. This is a well-thumbed edition of Journeys, and the reason why we did this as well is because the team and us, we couldn't find one source, one place where it articulated the journey from intern to creative director or intern to strategy director or whatever. And so we got a lot of questions from the team about where am I going and how do I get there? And, you know, let's take any role. You take a junior designer to a designer, to a senior and so on. It isn't just doing more and better. There's nuance to that. So what we try to do in this is respect each role in the company. And it's 200 pages of insight. And we think it's just a really powerful sort of addition that anchors people. Ultimately, we want to make this open source so it benefits the community and industry. But, you know, we're really excited to create things like this that are open source, but also clarify a lot of how we think and believe, you know, creativity should be shared.
It's a trick frame.
I'll hold it, I'll be the model.
If you think about the basics of how we operate, there's a risk of inaction, there's a risk of not changing, because the world changes around you. And there's also this idea of why not if you're going to make something, why not go further and figure out what that is? And whilst you're doing that, make it fucking awesome, so it's beautiful. So the phrase is create wonder.
Imagine.
If we're just talking about the agency and you know what we do, we have something called town halls or village halls or any number of size gatherings, county halls, and as a team, at those moments they do look for leadership in that sort of directional point of view, because everyone is part of an organisation that we've created, and also want to know where that's going, and if they feel aligned to that. Even then, a lot of it is playback. This is what you guys are doing. This is how you've helped us get here. This is where we might be going. I think people feel confident about their job if they know someone is holding on to a proverbial wheel somewhere. So I think that actually is about quiet confidence sometimes. It's calm, we're gonna be okay, and we're going in this direction, and we're super excited to go there. I don't know if that's being a leader. I think it's just doing our jobs.
And then you come back to starting again, which is, doesn't matter what you've learned, there's always something new to learn. And if you do that, then the cycle completes itself.
Yeah. 10 principles that anyone can own.
Yeah. Two of them are very similar, so we might change it. I might change let the work enough, put it in there. So you might be seeing the end of those 10, and we might tweak one of them.
Tweak them. Always in beta, right?
Yeah. Multi-prop session there.
Multi-prop.